and rowdy Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, Virginia, here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. As you say, welcome to Saturday Night Football, presented by Wells Fargo. An ACC collision between the defending national champs and second-ranked Clemson Tigers and the 4-0 Virginia Tech Hokies. This place about to come unhinged in 10 minutes' time. And welcome, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, Maria Taylor, and Tom Rinaldi will join us. Enter Sandman in about 10 minutes. You know, I love the environment of this place, and this is a good matchup we got tonight. It's a rematch of the ACC Championship Game when Clemson held on to win. 11 touchdowns scored in the game. It was wild. Most of the guys who made the big plays have moved on, so some fresh faces on both sides. It gutted Justin Fuente to come out a loser in that game, he told us.
Yeah, Justin Fuente, you can read his quote here. I mean, he said, it just kills me because we had a chance. They were that close, and I think it gave them confidence that night when they left that field. Even though they lost the game, he's still rebuilding this program, and an opportunity like this is huge, especially in a rematch playing here at Lane Stadium, where we know the crowd's always a factor.
It's a rebuilt offense. They've been dominating easily, Kirk, but tonight by far the biggest test for the freshman quarterback Josh Jackson.
Yeah, Josh Jackson has looked very impressive, taking care of the football. Only one turnover in these first 4 games, and to me it's kind of a little bit of a mix what he has to do. He's got to be involved in the run game. It's a great read late in the game against West Virginia. Felt the flow of the defense going to the outside and held on to it. He's got to be able to be creative with not only his ability to improvise, but the play calling, getting safeties out of position, expecting run, and then they've got to hit a big play. Here's another kind of a deception play, showing a flanker screen. Instead, Cam Phillips acts like he's going to block, gets down the sideline for a big play. I keep saying big play, and there's a reason for that. I think it's going to be very hard for this Virginia Tech offense, with the makeup that they have, to sustain drives. They're not going to be able to go 12 plays, 80 yards. They need explosive plays, and that's why Jackson's going to have to capitalize when he gets them.
Yeah, the Tigers defense has been nasty. The lunch pail defense for the Hokies sets the tone. So another test for Kelly Bryant, who's passed every test so far for the Tigers this year.
Well, 2 weeks ago, we had him at Louisville, and we thought, okay, now we're going to find out what Kelly Bryant has trying to replace the big shoes of Deshaun Watson. And what did he do? Business as usual. And we left there thinking, wow, this guy is impressive. He was running. He was throwing. He took the crowd out of the game. He, I think, really gained confidence in his ability to control this offense. And I think it was on that road and in that environment that now you come into this one and you think, can he do it again? This is a different atmosphere and a different challenge. He's got great playmakers around him. His wide receivers, he's going to have to get the football to. You see him right here. Deion Kane, more of a vertical threat. Hunter Renfro's been around these last couple years. And Ray McLeod. That's who he's got to get the ball out to quickly. And also in the running game, kind of a new star in Clemson, Travis Etienne, who is explosive. And if he makes Virginia Tech miss as much as they attack, look out, because he can go 80 in a hurry.
Oh, he's fun to watch. 13 yards to carry. So Clemson determined to have a fast start, take this big rowdy crowd out of it. A 27-point fourth quarter saved it against Boston College. Clemson has the grandest interest in the sport. This is the rockinest entrance. Hokies dress in their facility across the practice field. They make the walk into this claustrophobic tunnel. They'll go down a slope. They'll make a left turn about 45 degrees. When they get in that tunnel, they'll see on their right the names of every Hokies senior, the last 27 teams. Justin Fuente off a 10-win division title in his opening season as they enter that dark, cramped tunnel. And at the bottom, they will wait for a song that Metallica wrote 26 years ago. Enter Sandman has been used to lead this team out every home game since 2000. Justin Fuente is with Tom Rinaldi on the sidelines. Tom?
Chris, thank you very much. Coach, you said one of your goals is to make scenes like this normal again in Blacksburg. How do you make that happen starting with tonight?
This is beautiful. This is college football, and we got to take it one play at a time, not try and do too much. We'll get after him pretty well.
Against the defensive front you described as the best you've seen, have you coached your front and your quarterback to handle it?
Well, we're going to have to handle the good with the bad. I mean, they're going to make some plays on both sides of the ball. We just got to play the next one.
We appreciate it. Enjoy it, Coach.
You bet. Thanks.
Chris?
Tom, thank you. Kirky knows that emotion can work both ways. And there's Kelly Bryant, who goes through warm-ups with a smile on his face. He just says it's all about good vibes. So let's go to Maria Taylor with Dabo Sweeney.
All right, Coach, it's the first time your team's been in Lane Stadium since 2011. What's the mentality you want this team to take onto the field today?
Well, just play well. You know, we're just trying to maximize our opportunities and exhaust this moment tonight. There'll be more down the road, but it's all about tonight, just trying to play our best football tonight. That's what it's going to take. What a great environment, great atmosphere, and got a good team we got to play. What's the key to the fast start for your offense? Just take care of the ball, first of all. You know, we don't want to help them. We got to settle in. You know, let's get a beat on what they're going to do, what's going to be their plan, and you know, make sure that we make them have to go the distance. So that starts with the offense doing a good job taking care of it. All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Both coaches, no surprise, mentioning taking care of the football. All 6 head-to-head meetings since Tech joined the ACC have been won with the team that wins the turnover column. So Clemson, deferring to the second half after winning the toss, will kick it away. And this is Alex Spence. He takes over the kicking doodles for Greg Hugel, who last week suffered a freak knee injury in practice. So Spence, who has yet to attempt a field goal, is 5 of 6 in PATs, will kick it away. Henry Murphy, number 12, a junior wide receiver, is back deep. Buckle up. This will be a fun one tonight. Kickoff is returnable. Murphy at the goal line. Slips one-arm tackle and gets after the 25. And let's take a look at Josh Jackson, this poised, mature coach's son.
Yeah, coach's son, I think, says a lot about the freshman because of his maturity. Fred Jackson, probably saw him on the Michigan sidelines. He was there for 23 years as an assistant. How about finalist for the Michigan Player of the Year? Redshirted last year behind Gerard Evans and learned a lot. Now as a redshirt freshman, kind of exploded onto the scene against West Virginia. There's a proud papa right there with the orange hat on. Very excited to watch his son.
He's coaching high school football. 8-hour drive to be here tonight after playing like last night. Trayvon McMillan is the back, and Jackson, under immediate pressure, has to fire it into the Clemson bench. Right away, Kendall Joseph came and pressured him.
We talk so much about Bud Foster when you come to Lane Stadium, but Brent Venables is kind of the man in college football in the last 3 or 4 years. Fiery defense with a fiery defensive coordinator. They will come after the young freshman, try to confuse him, and especially the right side of the Virginia Tech offensive line.
McMillan, the junior tailback, goes in motion, and Jackson flips it out far side. This is Sean Savoy, a true freshman wide receiver. Very well covered there. Mark Fields, the corner, made the tackle, and now Jackson will face a 3rd and long.
Just great team pursuit, leveraging the football. Nice to see Mark Fields, who had a little bit of an injury last week against Boston College. Good to see him out there. This defense can fly to the football, and now they got the freshman exactly where they want him on 3rd and long.
They show pressure right up the middle. It's Trey Lamar, the middle linebacker, just over the center. This is a very uncomfortable position against the Venables defense. They rush just forward. It's a screen. McMillan will be trapped right there. Nothing doing. And so a 3-and-out for Virginia Tech.
And Justin Fuente, I thought, said something you don't always hear from a head coach / offensive coordinator. A punt is okay. Telling Josh Jackson, we do not need a catastrophic mistake in this game. Throw it away. Don't make mistakes. Little simple screen here on 3rd down. Just settle into the game. 3-and-out, punt the ball. That's okay. What his message to his freshman this week is.
And the punter is a true freshman, a rugby-style punter from Sydney, Australia. Oscar Bradburn, and hits it off the side of his foot. No chance for a McLeod return, but excellent field position. Kelly Bryant takes over at his 47.
Kelly Bryant, 6'4", 220 pounds. A couple of things that I think he's going to need to do tonight. A big part of his style of quarterback play is just playing with that composure on the road. He's going to get some one-on-one opportunities because of the way Virginia Tech will blitz. They're going to come after him. He's got to capitalize on that. And then I think when they come after him, remember, they play man-to-man. Their backs are to the quarterback. He can get out of there, take off, and still make plays with his feet when he's dropped back to throw.
It's the TNT backfield. Tavian Feaster, Travis Etienne. Feaster, the sophomore, in the game, and he's got the football. Remember, in the ACC Championship Game with Watson and company, a very fast start, and the Hokies defense on their back feet and confused early.
Yeah, and we really thought that Clemson 2 weeks ago, when we had them on the road, they might ease their young quarterback in. Remember, they came out throwing the football almost every play. Really were the aggressor in how they attacked Louisville that night.
Feaster got 4 in the first play. Motion's out now, and they try to flip it to him. And heavy traffic off the hands of Deion Kane. A diving attempt by Greg Stroman at a pick. It'll be 3rd and 6.
Kelly Bryant coming off a game last week against Boston College at home where he threw 2 interceptions, only 140 yards through the air, much more effective on the ground, over 100 yards and a couple of scores.
See what Bud Foster calls in this 3rd and 6 play.
Tight man-to-man showing across the board.
Blitz. They pick it up. Downfield throw. Jump ball. Catch made. Right away, one of those 50-50 balls, and it's Ray McLeod who went up and beat Brandon Faison. They're set up at the 23.
And Ray McLeod is 5'10", and Faison is 6'2". That ball is perfectly thrown by Kelly Bryant. His favorite ball is that fade, to be able to throw the football downfield, and Faison never turned around to find the ball.
27-yard gain. Now it's Hunter Renfro out of the slot. Dodges one tackler and is hit inside the 20. You feel so much of the game is going to be won on battles like that on the edge.
Really on both sides. One-on-one on the edge in the perimeter. Facing a veteran guy who's played for 4 years. You would think he would have been able to read Ray McLeod's eyes and get his body turned and head turned around to try to swat that ball away, but he's never able to do it.
Again, they pick up pressure. That is thrown for Renfro, who makes a catch inside the 5. Worked his way all the way across.
They move him around. He's in the inside, works to the outside, and he's got matched up against Terrell Edmonds. Look at him get the separation, and again, a perfect strike by Kelly Bryant. Throwing that ball away from the defender, but the route by Hunter Renfro and the separation made it pretty easy.
1st and goal. Feaster stacked up. If you want to puncture this crowd atmosphere and quiet things down, a drive like this, exactly what the Tigers wanted.
Yeah, 3 and out. Not a great punt. Great favorable field position for Clemson, and just right up Dabo Swinney's alley. What did he say when we said, what are you going to do when Bud Foster challenges you, plays man-to-man? What did he say? We're going downfield. We're going to find matchups. That's who we are. We're going to attack this Virginia Tech defense. They've done it twice successfully already.
2 for 2 in those downfield matchups. McLeod in motion. They fake it to him, and Bryant hammering straight forward, stopped a yard short of the goal line by both Edmonds brothers, Terrell and Tremaine.
He's sitting right here. He's the guy who ends up making the play. Heels right at the goal line. He knows where he is. He avoids the traffic. Able to come right at about the half-yard line. Make the play right there with his assist from his brother, Terrell.
Bryant is a 220-pounder who has 7 rushing touchdowns already this season. Bryant from the pocket. Has time. Delivers across the middle. In and out of the hands of Deion Kane. And the penalty is costly. And the Hokies defense makes a stand. Here comes the field goal team.
What an effort there by Shagog to knock that ball away at the last second. Plenty of time to make the throw. Shagog, I think, gets a hand in there. He does. Knocks that ball away. Ball's well thrown to Kane. But Shagog does a good job of knocking it away just at the last second.
It's a linebacker on a wide receiver.
Yeah, drop back in coverage there.
So here is Alex Spence. Again, replacing Greg Hugel from 23 yards. Has not made a field goal in his Clemson career, just PATs in the win over BC last week. And he's able to knock it through from 23. So the Tigers Take good field position, move it 47 yards in 10 plays, and take the lead in Blacksburg.
Yeah, that would have to be considered a win for Bud Foster and the Virginia Tech defense. Remember, the false start by Christian Wilkins moved him from the half-yard line back to about the 5.5.
Spence to kick it. Henry Murphy again standing at his goal line. Murphy able to slide back to the 23-yard line. Second possession, Trayvon McMillan is stood up and hammered hard by the middle backer, Trey Lamar.
Well, there's a bit of a mismatch up front at the line of scrimmage, which most teams have when they face Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence and Farrell and Austin Bryant. I mean, it's the deep end of the pool. I mean, these guys get after it. They move them around. They know the scheme. It's not just they're big and athletic. They're intelligent, and they know this system. Play fast.
Jackson delivers a strike, and this is Savoy, the receiver, who's going to be hit hard, a yard short of the first down. But Savoy having to step in and fill some big shoes in this receiving corps.
Yeah, undersized at 5'9", but kind of stocky at about 190 pounds.
And 3rd and 1, they send Savoy in motion, trying to play fast. And now they'll slow down and check out the defensive formation as the Tigers look to Venables for their adjustments. Jackson is not going to get first down yardage. A little tentative. He's not a bad runner, but he ran into big Cleland Farrell, the Virginia native, who is extra inspired whenever he plays the Hokies.
Now that was a heck of an effort by Farrell. And a great call by Brent Venables to slant and angle this defensive line. Watch him just collapse down. And Braxton Pfaff, 74, right there, he just collapses him, pushes him back, and keeps the freshman Jackson short of that first down.
So a couple of 3 and outs. See if Bradford can connect a better punt this time. It's Renfro back there. He makes a fair catch at the 33-yard line. So the Tigers back on offense after a 35-yard punt, up 3-0. Tavian Feaster is again the back. They give it to Ray McLeod on the end around. Mylan Richard, the tight end, is out there on the edge blocking. Pretty nice first down game.
2 big throws by Kelly Bryant got Clemson to be able to get down deep into Virginia Tech territory. They really, what they want to do is stretch this Bud Foster defense out, not just vertically, but as you just saw there with the jet sweep, also make them respect the outside, the ability to attack on the perimeter.
Pressure off the edge, but Feaster's got it in space. Vinny Mahoney, the defensive end, a good job corralling the back.
It's tough to do. You bring the outside, like kind of the nickel back, and you drop the defensive end. He's respectful of Feaster. Now he's out there one-on-one by himself with Feaster and does a pretty good job at 270 pounds. Remember, he was a former defensive tackle that's moved out the defensive end.
Already the 4th third down play for the Tigers offense. They need 4. Hokies don't blitz. Bryant has time and has a wide open Feaster. Feaster racing to the end zone. They forgot about the tailback and he makes him pay. 60 yards. And Clemson stretches the lead. He did not look rattled or intimidated at all.
Just a blown assignment by the Virginia Tech defense. I think it was Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, who should have been matched up with Feaster out of the backfield. His eyes just got caught up in the backfield, playing man-to-man, and nobody picks up Feaster, who, when he gets out, he can go. Tremendous speed.
First time Feaster's caught a touchdown pass. All the hype about young Travis Etienne. Tavian Feaster says, don't forget about me. I got some running back skills too.
Oh, he can go. And when you put him out there in the open field like that, as you said, on the road, Inner Sandman in Blacksburg, no problem. 10-0 Tigers.
49 is Tremaine Edmonds, the freaky junior linebacker, the keeper of that lunch pail, that symbol of the blue-collar defense for the first time. It's a huge honor, but a mistake in coverage there, and the Tigers jump out 10-zip. McMillan, the running back, is now the kick returner. Busy first quarter for Alex Spence. And McMillan will leave this one there.
Different look here for Virginia Tech offensively. Trips. I'm going to motion the tight end over.
You feed McMullen. That is just not open for business. No. The middle is clogged tonight.
How about big Albert Huggins getting in on the action? The big fella going to chase it down from behind. It just opens up, and he almost gets there. But look how fast that defense flows. I mean, the linebackers are trying to eat tonight, too. They can't get there because the defensive line's making all the plays.
It's a screen. McMillan gets a couple blocks, gets out near the 40 before Dorian O'Daniel knocks him down. It'll be third down. They'll need about 4.
That's a good call where a defense is getting upfield so quickly. One way to try to slow them down is if you can get the screen over top of that sudden surge, you got a little bit of room to work.
Cam Phillips, the top receiver, finally gets involved and makes a catch, and they'll finally move the sticks at the 45.
And Cam Phillips was in motion, trying to get an indicator on whether it was man or zone. Clemson sat back in zone. He looked like he was going to go out to the sideline, came back, and that's his favorite target. Josh Jackson looking for number 5, Cam Phillips, whenever he can.
200th career catch for Phillips, who's tracking down all of the Virginia Tech receiving records held by Isaiah Ford, who was the main guy the last couple of years. See if that settles Jackson down a bit. Deshaun McLeese is now the back. He's got it. He's kind of a shifty back, a slashing runner, physical as well, part of that rotation. 5'9", but 220.
With the fast-flowing defense like that, sometimes a shiftier back can cut back against that speed. And he was able to be a little bit more.
It'll be the final play of the first quarter. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Kelly Bryant, a couple of clutch third down throws to McLeod for 27 yards in the opening drive, to Renfro for 16, pick a field goal, and a 60-yard catch and run by Tavian Feaster. Now on second and short. Lions look good. Nittany Lions.
Wow.
Hammered.
Opening kickoff. The best player on the planet, Saquon Barkley, took it, went 98 yards.
Yep.
Set the tone pretty early there.
Not slow down from the points we saw a week ago. After a first down, Jackson into a clogged middle, hesitates, and that's trouble against this defense, but you can't blame them. There's just no creases.
There really isn't. The defensive line's eating up that offensive line, and they're getting a great push. The linebackers are cleaning it up.
Saquon, he actually threw for a touchdown on top of the kickoff return. They're trying to get him scores in every conceivable way.
He's special, man. Just so much fun to watch.
Bunch formation to the right. They throw back across. And this is Murphy again. The young guy's been busy. And you're into Clemson territory.
Clemson, I think, came in defensively more concerned about Cam Phillips based on the film study. And all of a sudden you get a couple first downs. Now you can get tempo. And their whole thought process is try to wear down Clemson's talented defensive line. But you need a few first downs to be able to do that.
Absolutely. Crowd back into it now. Jackson, they're trying that middle with the quarterback run. That time he's able to move the pile for about 4.
Something to remember, Justin Fuente, they finally built a little bit of momentum. They finally had Clemson defensively looking and maybe a little bit on their heels. And right when they were able to create that momentum, timeout, which allowed Clemson to kind of gather themselves a bit defensively.
Venables tries to watch the offense as long as he can before signaling adjustments to his defensive guys. Delay to McMillan. He gets a running start, and Trayvon McMillan into the secondary, spinning and twisting inside the Clemson 30. Best play of the night so far for the Hokies.
That was a great job of rolling him. You see how the linebacker flows with it just by rolling him to the right. Joseph had to react to the quarterback moving, thinking it's a rollout, and then he cuts back. And it makes it much easier blocking angles for the offensive line to get up to the linebacker.
Picked up 19 yards. Now Jackson, pump fake, was looking for Phillips, who was well covered. Has to just throw it on the sidelines to try to come back for it, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, they are determined to take away Cam Phillips. Two Clemson defenders downfield, no chance, and he was kind of a hesitate double move trying to get down the sideline, but Clemson defends that very, very well. Just trying to get him to bite, a little slant and go, and there's Mark Fields. You can also see Tanner Muse there. Doing everything they can. No way Cam Phillips is going to make a play downfield. They want someone else to have to.
He had a dozen catches against them in the ACC Championship Game, just 2 so far. Now this is Carroll on the end around. He is slammed down hard by 3 Tiger defenders. Carroll about 170 pounds. 170
pounds, and Austin Bryant, watch him run at 265 pounds. Carroll's trying to get around to get to the corner. And of course, Daniels is there, or Daniel rather is there, but Austin Bryant with some tremendous speed, and Kendall Joseph too.
So the middle is clogged. They're fast sideline to sideline. They cover well. There's not much to work on against this Clemson defense. Need 11 on 3rd down. Pressure. Jackson escapes, flips it short. That's Dalton Keene, the true freshman H-back, a very short gain to the 25. It looks like the field goal team's coming out.
They showed 5 and even 6-man pressure at the line of scrimmage and then dropped, and they only rushed 3. And yet they're still in there because they confused that offensive line, and I knew the right side would struggle. That time Kyle Chung completely whiffed and allowed them to be able to get the pressure in on Jackson.
Joey Sly is a senior. He's been steady at times, but he's struggling this year. This is from 43 yards. A much needed 3 points to get on the board here 3 minutes before halftime, and he's able to knock it through. He's a terrific kickoff man. He's been a little bit erratic. Justin Fuente not exactly filled with tremendous trust for his kicker. Some uncharacteristic misses in recent games, but he knocks that through. And Virginia Tech completely outplayed in this half, Kurt. Hanging around, down just 7. So sort of shades what we saw in the championship game last year. Fly gives no one a chance. Etienne, the dangerous returner, it sails over his head and 6 yards out of the end zone. He's a small-town guy. Calhoun, South Carolina. He told me he has 1 red light, 1 country store, 1 gas station. Not too far from the Clemson campus, but he's a chill dude. They flip it back to McLeod, who's knocked down to the 30 as we check in with Maria Taylor.
You know, guys, Kelly Bryant says that his confidence has been challenged a lot during this season, but I saw him talking to his offense before they took the field, and he said it's time to go to work, make money. We have to get one before going into the locker room. So he's showing a lot of confidence right now on the sidelines.
Love that attitude, but don't press. Don't press and try to make that big play. That's where Virginia Tech can capitalize.
C.J. Fuller, who was in the training tent briefly, is back in the ball game. There's a throw across the middle. Kane's got it, and he's got space. And Deion Kane trapped at the 35-yard line by Terrell Edmonds, but another big play.
Yeah, they tried to get pressure right here. They almost were able to get to Kelly Bryant with tremendous quickness by Ricky Walker. Unable to get there, and that's just one-on-one. Who's going to win on the outside? Deion Kane has been getting the best of this secondary, and especially Adonis Alexander. Got the separation, made it easy on the throw.
His first catch worth 35 yards. And now they feed Fuller in the middle.
27, C.J. Fuller, the ball carrier.
Again, they get the football to begin the second half, and Clemson, we saw this against Louisville. They scored late, just before half, build momentum, are sharp coming out of the locker room, and pretty soon a 1-score game becomes a 3-score game.
It's been relatively quiet.
Pressure up the middle. Bryant sidesteps the rush so artfully. Gets a block on the edge and skates out of bounds near the 20. Tough to pen in.
Matua Puaka, the middle linebacker, actually comes clean. Most quarterbacks would struggle with this. Pretty good effort by Fuller to come over and pick up that block. Then he just makes people miss out in the open field.
Look out, LC.
Look out, of course, so heads up. Heads up. Got his green coat on. It's a little chilly out here.
Showed some quicks at 82. Dodging the quarterback over there. Bryant, again, far side. Single coverage. Kane working free. Kane diving. Touchdown, Clemson. Deon Kane comes alive on this drive, and the Tigers up a couple touchdowns. Let's double check this.
And the progressive pylon cam to see if his knee is down before he crosses.
Looks to be.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a little bit short, but incredible effort here.
The rule of the field is the runner was stopped short of the goal line. Ball gets at the half-yard line. First down.
So a 21-yard gain, call reverse, but it's first and goal. Clemson in the red zone, extremely efficient coming into this game. 12 touchdowns and 14 red zone trips. C.J. Fuller, and there's the back. And Fuller behind a two tight end look, able to hammer straight ahead for the touchdown. Showing his strength. Matua Puaka got run over the middle linebacker in that play.
Heck of a collision, actually. And there's a sign of frustration.
Sort of had that feeling we've come to expect this Kirk Academy from Clemson. 6 plays, 75 yards inside of 2 minutes.
That's what they do.
Suddenly it's a 2-touchdown lead.
And Maria, you heard the challenge from the quarterback saying, hey, we got to go down here. Let's get some points.
Spence converts. Clemson dominance, taking some of the wind out of the sails of this raucous crowd. And the Tigers will get the football to begin the third quarter. End of 30 here in Blacksburg. The BMW halftime report right after these messages. Lane Stadium typically unhinged. The enter Sandman run out, Kirk, but once the game got going, was the Clemson defense employing the seek and destroy approach.
Well, they got it to 10-3, and it was about 3 minutes to go, or what is it, 2 or 3 minutes to go before the half, and Clemson went right down the field in 6 plays, scored a touchdown, got it to 17-3. Now they get the ball to start the second half. Again, 17-3, still in the game. 24-3 becomes a completely different feel for Virginia Tech. This is a big series for both teams.
Slive drives it deep. We've seen Clemson in these situations before. Same thing on the road against Louisville. Cardinals were trying to hang around a drive late in the second quarter, early in the third quarter. All of a sudden, the thing got completely out of hand.
Dabo Swinney really encouraging his team right now. He's in the middle of that pile, just walked out of it. He is saying the same thing. You know, you see it in college basketball. There are a lot of guys that believe at the end of the half, the start of the half, how big that is for their teams. And I think the same could be said for college football. They scored at the end of that half, and now Dabo Swinney senses an opportunity to start this second half. Bud Foster's boys are going to have to step up here because Clemson's going to come at them hard.
Bryant provided really the only spark in the running game in the first half. He ran it for 65 yards, threw it for 176. This is end around and drag and slam down as Amari Rogers, the freshman receiver. So a nice play by Mook Reynolds. Maria?
Well, Chris, going into the locker room, Dabo Swinney said that there were some missed opportunities on offense, but he's proud of the poise that his offense has showed in the first half. Now, defensively, he said they have to continue to do what they are doing, and I got to say that this defense has been challenging one another on the sideline every single time they enter the game.
That's a good start, Maria. Rare to have Clemson behind the sticks. 2nd and 17. Bryant looks and fires near side. It's a battle. It's incomplete. Broken up, intended for DeAndre Overton, and that was Stroman in coverage.
Yeah, that was a heck of an effort by Greg Stroman, the senior here, getting his hands on the ball. We talked about DBs turning and finding the ball. Watch him get in there at the last second. That last effort separated the ball from Overton.
Kind of battles with the Tiger wide receivers won in the first half. Drives back in it now in 3rd and 17.
Usually his man's right here on 3rd down, Hunter Renfro.
They bring pressure off the edge. Bryant will be sacked. Adonis Alexander off the corner, and it's 4th down.
They actually brought Shagab and the corner, Alexander. The running back picks up. Watch the running back, Feaster. He picks up one of the blitzers, and it frees up Alexander to get home, to get to Kelly Bryant. We just talked about the importance of this drive to Dabo Sweeney. Got to believe that Bud Foster sensed the same thing and really challenged his defense to get after Clemson.
And Alexander suspended the last couple of games for violating a team rule, making a play and an impact as he returns to the lineup. Stroman is driven back by a good Spires punt to the 36. Looking for room, cuts it back, and will be dropped at the 45. So Hokies defense gets a stop. Now the offense gets good field position. To Tom.
Chris, thank you very much. Talking to Justin Fuente, he said he was not too displeased with his team's performance. Where he was most displeased was at the line of scrimmage, not taking on Clemson with enough physicality. He also said they needed to adjust. They've seen some different looks from Clemson, and it starts in the second half. They got the defensive stop they needed. Now they'll have to see if they get some surge and push to develop some offensive momentum, Chris.
Haven't been able to block the guys up front, and they haven't been able to create big plays as a result. Just one play, Kirk, of 20-plus yards in the first half. They average about 6 a game coming in against overmatched opposition. McMullen tries to bounce it, really has to fight and grind, and still pushing the pile. Good effort to gain 5.
Thought he was at about 2 yards. He ends up getting 5. And, you know, Tom, one thing about how do you help the battle at the line of scrimmage, good, better field position with a freshman quarterback with a line that's in a mismatch gives you a little bit more of an advantage on play calling.
Well, on 2nd and 5, they'll run it again, and the ball comes out. Clemson says they've got it. It's a scrum. McMullen dropped the football.
Dorian O'Daniel looks like he's at the bottom of that pile.
It is the night's first turnover, and McMullen has had a little bit of a fumble problem at times in his career. Exactly what the Hokies did not need. They're still fighting for that football.
I think 6 is at the bottom of that pile. Dorian O'Daniel.
Dexter Lawrence reached around. He forced the fumble right there.
Yeah, right there. It bounced right into his lap. He's got the football right there.
Clemson brings the offense out, and that is a nightmarish play for this Virginia Tech team. Not only did they lose a chance to cut into the lead, but the Tigers are set up near midfield now.
Sudden change. Could be a chance for Kelly Bryant to take a shot.
Only the 3rd turnover all season for Virginia Tech. Feaster spun down after a 5-yard gain.
Especially after the defense gets a 3 and out. They did their job. They set their offense up with great field position, and just as they get settled in, congratulating each other on the sideline, they're rushed back out on the field, asked to do it again.
Feaster in the backfield. Bryant, straight run. Nothing adventurous about it. Nothing sexy, but just very effective.
Very effective. I mean, when you're going to pick up 8 or 10 yards on a quarterback draw, puts you in a much, much more friendly position at 3rd and 4 compared to 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Bryant coming in had 27 more carries than any Clemson running back. He has been the workhorse. As you said, a different way than Deshaun Watson ran the football.
Tight man-to-man from Virginia Tech.
On 3rd and 4, Bryant is running all the way, and he just finds a tight little crease there, gets through, shows the strength, moves the sticks inside the 40.
See, the problem is because they can throw the ball so well, and you play man-to-man across the board, if you're not going to account for the quarterback, the linebacker's got to make that play. And he's also dealing with a running back and Tavian Feaster coming out to block him. So it's feast or famine. You're either going to give up the play through the air because the way Bryant throws.
That pun?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Good for you. On first down, it's a straight run. And again, he's in traffic, but he spins free. Takes a big shot.
Bryant again keeps the ball.
Greg Stroman in the corner. They came up to deliver the blow.
But I don't know if Stroman took the shot there or if the quarterback Bryant did. I think Bryant's 6'4", 220. Stroman's 180 pounds. You tell me who took the shot there. I see 3 and Maroon going backwards.
Nate Edmonds contributing to the tackle. The way he's been running the ball, they'll take a 2-yard gain. Bryant flips it, and this is Mylan Richard, the tight end, curled around, makes the catch down to the 30. It'll be 3rd and short.
I thought Dabo made a great point with this week about what he considers balance. It's not necessarily always run and pass. His theory is, listen, the numbers are going to dictate what we do. If they're going to load up to stop our running game, hey, we're confident in Kelly and our receivers in throwing the football. If they're going to take away our ability to throw, like Boston College did last week, guess what we're going to do? We're going to run the football. And he thinks that's the answer to having a great offense, is whatever a defense takes away, you go the other direction.
Feaster. Oh, they fake it to him. Bryant converts the 3rd down. A lot more still rumbling down inside the 10.
Number 2, Kelly Bryant.
Terrell Edmonds saved the touchdown.
Well, that's a great read. He's reading Gaines, number 11, right here. If he collapses down on Feaster, which he does, you pull the ball out. If he stays wide, you give it. Gaines came down. Great read by Kelly Bryant, and big yards for Clemson.
And the Tigers are hammering away in this possession following the takeaway. Feaster that time stacked up. Talk about the balance. Oregon, the only other offense in the FBS to get 235 rushing and passing. They're up 100 yards a game rushing over last year's Clemson offense.
Yeah, it's a different feel. Deshaun was so special and such great command and so dangerous throwing the football. Think about who he had out there: Michael Williams and Artavis Scott and Jordan Leggett. It's a different style, but still obviously very effective.
Ryan still got the football, was looking to throw it. Now he's going to circle around, still spinning free, trying to make something of this. Still going back down inside the 5. It's a very exciting short game.
Wow, that's one that Virginia Tech's got to be thinking, how do we not get him for a loss of about 15 yards? I mean, there are 2 different guys there that had a chance. And Kelly Bryant, keep telling yourself this, at 6'4", 220, he's not just a speed guy. He is powerful and runs out of those arm tackles.
Gained a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 4 instead of 3rd and goal from the 20. Bryant's got it again. Trying to pick his way to the corner. It'll be knocked down just short. Reggie Floyd, the Rover, saved a touchdown. 4th and goal now.
Well, they don't shy away from continuing to get him the football. He's trying to follow Feaster, but pretty good effort by Reggie Floyd to prevent him from getting into the end zone. The progressive pylon cam. See, he is clearly short. And Dabo Swinney senses an opportunity up by 14.
Absolutely.
With the way their defense has been playing all night, makes a lot of sense.
Feaster's in the game. 4th down. Feaster. Touchdown, Clemson. Not really a gamble the way they've been running the football, but yes, Clemson does stretch the lead, and now some tempers flaring. They separate the players. That's a frustrating sequence for the Hokie defense, which get a 3 and out to begin the half. The fumble recovery sets up the Tigers at midfield. They take 10 plays to grind it in 5.5 minutes. Feaster's 2nd touchdown, a long reception, and now a short run.
And the turnover after the 3 and out by the Virginia Tech defense. Gave him the ball right near midfield and took advantage of it.
(24-3) midway in the 3rd quarter. Tech in desperate need of a big play. It is all Clemson in Blacksburg. So Clemson follows what's become a devastatingly effective pattern. You score late in the half, you score early in the second half, and all of a sudden it is a 3-touchdown lead for a defense that has been suffocating tonight. There's a high kickoff, and Murphy comes up, takes it on the run, and gets out near the 30. But Deshaun Watson giving his first game paycheck to a couple of Houston Texans employees who had lost everything in the flood. It's part of what Dabo Swinney talks about, the Clemson culture. I mean, what a phenomenal job that he did to do that. I mean, pure class from Deshaun.
That's he's the best, man. Not only as a player, but the way he walks the walk.
Josh Jackson, meanwhile, trying to gain some footing here. It's been a tough outing for a quarterback. He's been very effective and very efficient in the first 4 games, but a big step up in competition. And there's a downfield throw. Carroll's out there. He's got it. Little slot receiver takes a big shot, but a nice throw. And the Hokies are into Clemson territory.
Yeah, a little mix-up with Van Smith and Jalen Williams. Watch him in the back end. Watch how they let Carroll sneak behind them. I think Van Smith, 23, maybe makes a mistake. He and Jalen Williams come up. And let's face it, Virginia Tech hasn't attacked downfield. They may have caught him off guard.
Actually now rolls and throws. Here at the practice, you saw C.J. Carroll. He's listed as 5'8", and is quite generous. I mean, an ex-walk-on, but got the scholarship after last year. To play this game at that size. I mean,
it tells you one thing you can't measure is his heart and just his determination. You're right, they list him at 5'8", but standing next to him, I don't think he's that tall, but he's tremendous quickness and just a determined football player, and that's why he's out on the field.
Nice catching that 35-yard gain. 2nd and 10, play action. Jackson just nowhere to go, desperately trying to escape. Throws it downfield, ill-advised into traffic, was looking for Phillips. Could have been intercepted. Ryan Carter again in the neighborhood.
Yeah, in his defense, it's been a rough night. He's down 24-3. He's trying to make a play, and he should have just thrown it away. It's something he'll learn from. And Carter again gets his hand on the ball. There's Isaiah Simmons, who's a freshman, almost comes up with the interception.
Simmons kind of broke up the attempted interception.
Yeah, Carter. Yeah. Again, it's easy to sit here and say, what's he doing? Again, he's a freshman, and he's fighting for his life out there, trying to make a play.
3rd and 10. Pressure comes again from the pocket. Across the middle. Phillips almost stumbled. Still running. Stiff arm. Battling, but chased down by O'Daniel. It'll be 4th down.
Pretty good hands. Always want to see receivers with the ability to catch the ball with their hands. This ball is thrown hard on a shallow crossing route, and right there he goes up and secures that football and gives him some positive yards, gives him a chance here on 4th down.
They need 4. Slant again. Wide open is Henry Murphy. And Murphy gets the 1st down. They still can't pen him in. He squirts out into the red zone. Much needed.
It was the right call at the right time. Blitz the linebackers. Ryan Carter down. Looked like near the end of that play, they blitzed the linebacker, and it frees up Murphy to come underneath where there's nobody. Great recognition. Good job by Josh Jackson sitting in there and getting the ball out of his hands quickly, giving Murphy a chance to run with it.
20-yard gain on that 4th down play. Sets him up in the red zone. Now Carroll looking to throw is just mauled. Dorian O'Daniel clobbered him. He wanted to throw the ball.
Well, with the closing speed right here of Dorian O'Daniel, it makes it really hard. And we saw this play. You wondered if they might call it. But look at that speed from Dorian O'Daniel. Every time we call a Clemson game, I tell you that he is a high school tailback that runs a 4-4 that is playing linebacker at Clemson. And really, with Ben Boulware moving on, has become one of the leaders of this defense.
We thought they might see that play. They lose 8. And now it's Phillips spinning down inside the 15. Get back to 3rd and makeable now.
Remember, Ryan Carter out of the football game, so you're seeing a different coverage. This time it's Wallace that's in coverage. This is great timing. You see him right out here. Wallace giving him a little bit more room than what Ryan Carter was doing.
You know, Phillips was on the sidelines hurt after his 6th catch. Need 5 on 3rd down. Tigers bring pressure again. Jackson will be dropped. There's no chance. That was Isaiah Simmons flying in.
And again, it's just a lot to deal with. Austin Bryant ends up dropping. Here's the blitz that actually ends up getting there. Watch how he delays Simmons. Nobody can pick him up, but the confusion. You got 2 linebackers walked up tight. They end up coming, occupying the lineman. Bryant drops back, and here comes Simmons late, clean to get the sack.
So now in the final minute of the 3rd quarter, Sly is 1 for 2. Comes on for a 38-yarder, and it's a fake. And Clemson is all over it, sensing that maybe a field goal to get it to 18 wasn't what they were doing. Trey Lamar, they got him on a fake punt last year in the conference championship game. High fives on the sideline there. They were ready for that.
When you come into Lane Stadium, even though Frank Beamer isn't here, Beamer ball still lives. One team you never want to be caught off guard by running a fake anything is Virginia Tech. Dabo Swinney kind of had a little smile on his face like, way to be ready, fellas. Way to be ready. Told you they might call it.
Danny Perriman is the special teams coordinator for Clemson. He was an assistant for Beamer for 8 years here. And Fuente needing some bag of tricks. They tried the end around pass, didn't work. Fake field goal didn't work. Most everything hadn't worked tonight. Etienne out of the backfield. Bryant was looking that way briefly, but he's going to be sacked. Trayvon Hill off the edge.
Right. Hill gets the sack. Coverage gets the assist. Looking to his left. Look at the coverage. Great job of matching up, taking it away. And that's one he's got to come off a little bit quicker to try to either get out of there or find a receiver he can check down to.
The defending ACC and national champions up by 3 touchdowns after 3 here in Blacksburg. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station. Beginning of the 4th quarter. When in doubt, break up enters Sandman again. Student section still jumping around, but a 3-score game as Clemson goes to work. They have a tremendous attitude here. It's really a no-quit mentality. Virginia Tech, a long tradition of it. We saw it last year. Came from 17 down in South Bend to win. They were down 21 to Clemson in the ACC Championship Game. Bryant spun down. This has a much different feel to it. The offense in that game with Evans was able to run and throw the ball effectively.
Well, when you're Justin Fuente and your 2nd year as a head coach in a program you're trying to build back up as a top 10 power, these are important quarters when you're down 24-3. You're trying to build that foundation because they're going to recruit well. They're going to get more talented. But you want that backbone, that traditional Hokie backbone. And you want players to fight when they're down 24-3 in the 4th quarter.
Tigers need 17 on 3rd down, and Bryant to Kane. It's incomplete. Kind of threw it on the back shoulder. Stroman in coverage, and here comes the punt.
Yeah, if you're a future defensive coordinator watching this game, the 2 things you're watching from Kelly Bryant is his ability to throw the deep ball, the fade, and when he gets one-on-one, he's going to throw that ball pretty accurately. And when he gets to 3rd down, he's going to look to Deion Kane on that back shoulder fade. You know, those are 2 things that if you're going to defend these guys, you better be ready to try to take that away and make him go somewhere else.
Will Spires in his end zone. Greg Stroman standing about midfield. Hokies have not often come off after a punt tonight. It's a very low kick. Stroman hustles up, makes the catch on the run. Stroman turning the corner and taking it to the house. No, he's tackled inside the 5. A saving tackle there. Tremendous effort by Isaiah Simmons. Stroman thought he was going to score. I did too. But the big return sets him up inside the 5.
I love the effort by Stroman in almost a full sprint. Instead of giving up on it, he's very deep. But watch him full sprint, catches the ball, and running downhill. And that, the coverage team, I think, not ready to deal with him running that fast at the progressive pylon cam where he just comes up a little bit short.
Simmons, tremendous hustle there.
Yeah. Let's say he has a really bright future as a freshman, but he's been making plays tonight, back even the secondary, now on special teams.
So 42-yard return sets up the Hokies at 1st and goal. We've got Keene, the H-back, in the backfield. This is Savoy on the end around. He'll score. Tech's first touchdown tonight. You said it, the never quit mentality of this program.
Yep. Big return. Obviously gives them great field position, and they don't wait. Get right into the end zone, and just like that, couple scores.
Second touchdown in Savoy's career, the first as a runner. And the extra point is good, so it is a 2-touchdown lead. 14 minutes to play here at Lane Stadium.
Georgia looking good.
Sly, a line drive kick right through the end zone. Number 7 is too low.
Oh, they got to be up in the top 4. I
know USC lost, but even before that, forgetting that, how was Georgia not in the top 3?
They beat Notre Dame, and I really thought TCU last week made a statement with Gary Patterson, but I think Georgia, after this week, what they've done in these first 5 weeks, you go back and look what Jake Fromm has done, going in, inserting him at quarterback. They're a total team now, complete team, and had some big wins. I had no problem putting Georgia in the top 4.
You live in the state of Tennessee. How's the mood going to be there after the Vols got whooped at home?
Won't be real good, I don't think.
Ryan has cooled off after halftime, just 1 of 4. All near midfield. It's Feaster on the pitch, and gain of 3.
There really is no margin of error for Virginia Tech's defense. This late in the game, down by a couple scores, they obviously need to get the ball back to Josh Jackson and the Hokies offense. And for Kelly Bryant, you're thinking, hey guys, they're starting to get a little bit of life. Let's try to put them away with a score.
Tech has 7 takeaways this season, none yet tonight. Rolling out, delivering a short pass. They were ready for that time. Milan Richard, they've run that a couple of times, but a nice play by Reggie Floyd.
Actually, really good job of getting pressure on him by Edmonds. And then Floyd's right there in position. As soon as Richard makes the catch, Floyd right there to keep him short of that first down. Now you wonder, is Bud Foster to bring pressure, play man-to-man? Clemson's had some success. Or do you sit back, play a little bit softer, and play some zone?
You certainly keep an eye on number 2 as a runner. Bryant takes off and is going to be hit. Stop short. Tremaine Edmonds won that battle, and it's 4th down.
Wow, that time Tremaine Edmonds, 6'5", 250, and Bud Foster said, after 23 years of being a defensive coordinator, I've never had a guy like this right here. With his, well, that is textbook tackle, too, in the open field against a really good athlete, and Kelly Bryant puts him down on the ground and hits him hard.
You said that, but it's worth saying again. 6'5", 250.
Runs
long
like
arms.
a deer.
Yeah. He's still 19 years old. He's got an upside. He's the guy that got fooled and burned on that touchdown connection earlier to Feaster. At that time, stops the quarterback. And here's Spears, that low line drive kick, allowed the return last time. This time he boots it high, but very short. And Tech back to work.
Defense got to
14. Hokies have Coleman Fox in the game as a running back. And Jackson going to take a shot. Jump ball, but Phillips is very well covered. No flag. They wanted one on Tyree Rogers.
The only difference here is Mark Fields. Watch him get in position. Watch him turn around. Now he looks for the ball, and now you're going to see 2 guys hand checking with each other. And because he's in position to go for the ball, he has every right to go for the ball as the receiver.
Now there's Fields, of course. They don't flag him. 2nd and 10. Incomplete, no, intercepted. Swipe by Dorian O'Daniel, who's going to take it back. Bobbled by Henry Murphy, and the linebacker was right there to pick it out of the air and take it to the end zone.
2 weeks ago, you and I called a game in Louisville, and he had a pick 6 in that game as well. Just the right place at the right time. Virginia Tech in not so much desperation mode, but obvious passing situation. Ball gets thrown out there. It's actually a really well thrown ball, but again, you just don't have any margin of error against this defense. Bobbles the ball, doesn't hold on to it. I know Daniel capitalizes on the mistake by Murphy.
It's very satisfying for O'Daniel as a playmaker. He was disappointed to be ejected for targeting from that ACC Championship Game against Virginia Tech, but he finds the end zone. Another takeaway. Clemson has cashed it in, and now it's back to a 3-touchdown lead. So Clemson back up by 21. We'll send out a new kickoff man, Christian Grooms, the senior left-footed kicker. Devon McMillan. He's back deep. It's a low boot along the ground here, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 1. So his career as a kickoff man may be brief. Don't know how much in a 3-touchdown game they'll run Bryant, but he needs just 6 yards to get back-to-back 100-yard rushing games. Hit that mark against BC last week. Again, Coleman Fox for a short game. Maria.
Chris, well, we've seen the defense produce 3 takeaways here in the second half, and I got to say, coming into it, Cleveland Farrell said that their focus was redemption after the ACC Championship game. They feel like they allowed Virginia Tech to get back in it after having a 21-point lead and letting the Hokies make it a 1-possession game. I got to tell you, this defense, though, has been a heartbeat on the sideline. They're the first ones to go up to the offense. The leaders, and Dexter Lawrence and Austin Bryant and Christian Wilkins, they want to be the leaders of this entire team on the sideline.
That's a great point, Maria. You know, these guys, although they did win the ACC Championship, they gave up 5 touchdowns. They felt that was unacceptable against Virginia Tech last year.
Yeah, I've always loved this about this team and how when the backups get in there, what Maria is saying about the leadership. Watch the starters and how they're watching and coaching and yelling out to the guys that are in there as backups, and 42 leads the way in that effort. Austin Bryant right next to him. See him yelling, talk to these guys.
Wilkins is a talker. You know, Bryant, Dexter Lawrence, Cleveland Farrell, they all live together. Around the end is Coleman Fox, and this guy is showing a lot. I mean, he's listed at 5'11", you know, just like C.J. Carroll. I don't think he's quite that tall. But
well, for an offense looking for some playmakers and some live legs, he's been one of the more impressive guys when he's got his hands on the football.
Fox again. Meanwhile, for a Clemson defense that really didn't give up a touchdown drive, it was the punt return that set him up inside the 5. They begin to look ahead, Kirk, and find people capable of challenging the defending national champions in the ACC, because it looks like they're going to be very solid favorites throughout with what's happened at Florida State.
Yep.
NC State on the road coming up soon.
Georgia Tech could be an interesting game. Always interesting to play Paul Johnson's team.
Jackson backpedals, flips it short. Fox is going to be hammered and knocked down by the backup middle backer, Chad Smith. And there are the starters enjoying it.
Look at them. Look at them all. Farrell's there, Wilkins, Bryant. The guys that get all the headlines, all the notoriety. Some schools you see those guys sitting on the bench. Clemson, they're helping Brent Venables and the coaches coach them up.
The guy who made the play. Chad Smith is a very good linebacker, by the way.
Yeah.
He'd be starting in a whole lot of places. 3rd and 12. Needs a delayed handoff. Fox kind of picking his way and navigating for a first down. So a guy who'd done very little in the first 4 games comes in here and against the nasty Clemson defense is having a game.
I think there was a little bit of a bust there by Jalen Williams. Chad Smith at the end of the play kind of looked up and saying, where was we have to cover that gap, and Jalen Williams was there and he went out into the flat in coverage.
Jackson steps up, avoids the pressure, took a peek downfield, didn't have anybody, and now will struggle for a yard.
Miami looks good. Did you watch them?
I did watch them against Duke, yes.
Their defense looks good. I thought the quarterback Rozier looked nice.
Is this the year they finally get the Seminoles?
Mark Richt is having you're starting to see some Mark Richt intangibles and an attitude on that football team, playing with much more discipline. than we've seen in recent years.
Are we allowed to open the mic of Chris Felica, the Bear, the Miami graduate?
Sure. Yeah.
I'd like to know, Mr. Felica, is this Miami team, is it going to be ready to deal with it? You know the history of this rivalry against the Seminoles.
He's already using reverse psychology for next
It has been coulda, woulda, shoulda the last 3 years for Miami. Last year they blew a double-digit lead. Year before that, a fourth-quarter lead, and a double-digit lead the year before that.
So you're nervous?
And they are going to be expected to beat Florida State in Tallahassee on Saturday by a lot of people. And that's a team that hasn't won a big game in a long time.
But how good did Miami look last night?
They looked good. You like 7 and 12 and 82 in those guys. They look like some old-school Miami there.
They look like this Clemson defensive line.
I don't know about that.
I mean, but I'm just saying, they're starting to look like the way the Miami defensive linemen used to look.
Isaiah Simmons thought he had a pick. You know what, Flake? I love the turnover chain. That is just a wonderful, wonderful innovation.
They're more excited about the chain than the turnover.
I'm more excited.
I mean, they're on a full sprint to get over. Genius by Manny Diaz and the guys.
4th and 9 now for Jackson. Stands in there, fires into the end zone, touchdown. It's Sean Savoy running free, and the Hokies find the end zone for the second time tonight. That's a nice throw.
Really good throw. It gives you a little bit of a feel for what Josh Jackson can do throwing the football. Great read, good timing with the freshman Savoy.
He scored both touchdowns tonight for Tech. Turned around, and now this nice little post pattern. Ryan Carter, who's had a terrific night defending, finally does get beaten on a play when it's decided.
There's 2 posts, and one of them is going to take the safety, Denzel Johnson, kind of affect his eyes. He kind of gets out of position, then he's slow to react. And what a window there for Josh Jackson to make that throw. Well designed, great timing, puts it out in front of him, hits him in stride for that touchdown.
There's so many similarities, Kirk, to the game we had a couple of weeks ago in Louisville, where Clemson came in. There were some questions. How would they handle the road environment? It was a comfortable win. Then the backups gave up some scores, and the starters like Wilkins, they were very frustrated about some breakdowns late in the game, even though it's comfortably in hand. Comes slide, the ball falling off the tee as they line up for an apparent onside kick. Mr. Herbstreit, have I told you that the total yards category was now in favor of Virginia Tech, 342 to 315? Would that surprise you?
Yeah, it would surprise me.
Misleading statistic, to say the least.
Again, Clemson's their offensive plan changed dramatically after the lead.
Onside kick is recovered. C.J. Fuller, the running back up there, and the hands team collects it. And Lynch, one of the guys that Fuente worked with at quarterback at Memphis, he's said that he still talks to Lynch, still talks to Andy Dalton, and Paxton has voiced some frustration, doesn't feel like he is where he wants to be. I hope I'm not taking a conversation online that was private, but listen, he's a young quarterback still, and a lot to learn, but it's nothing easy about playing quarterback at the next level. Clemson again will go on the road to a juiced up, hostile environment and come away a victor. 8 straight now over ranked teams, 12 straight true road wins.
I think we're done talking for the rest of the year about if Kelly Bryant and the Clemson offense can go on the road without Deshaun Watson and Mike Williams and Jordan Leggett and Artavis Scott and win. I think that officially is,
I agree,
put to bed.
Zarek Cooper again to mop up here in the final minute at quarterback. ETN, look out, careful. Look out, almost busted it. Finally wrestled that in the 30, inside the 30. And the true freshman very capable of punctuating this with another touchdown run.
Boy, he is just so close. Known for his speed in his early part of his career, but his lower body strength gets him out of tackles, the great balance, and they say he's one of these guys that within two steps can get to that full speed.
In the month of September, which has about 25 minutes left in it, Clemson's going to be a 3rd top 15 team. We're saying again, that's never been done since the AP poll came about. Kelly Bryant taking a little video to mark another successful trip on the road. The ACC champions in this rematch of the championship game win it by 14. Outgained, but again, incredibly misleading. 3 takeaways by Clemson's defense were huge tonight. Let's go down to Tom Rinaldi with Dabo.
Chris, thank you very much. Dabo, a lot made of the atmosphere here in Lane Stadium. You obviously prepared your team well for it. What did they show you tonight?
Well, they were ready to play. I mean, it was a 4-quarter game. We had some missed opportunities in the first half, but, you know, I thought we complemented each other well. We got off to a good start. We were ready right out of the gate. I think we had a 3 and out. Then we went down and got some points. Came back with another touchdown. But we just played a good game. Had a couple of miscues, but this is a good football team. I mean, we had no, you know, crazy thoughts that we were going to come up here and just, you know, not have a tough fight on our hands. This is a well-coached team, and I'm proud of our guys. We played great defense the whole way. Hey, we got that last one right there, but really proud of the team effort.
First team to beat 3 teams in the top 15 in the month of September ever.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. What has taken shape so fast quickly?
How many teams have played 3 top 15 teams? Probably not many. So
what do you
we'll take it, though.
What do you take from that, though, Dabo, about the early stages of this season when so many questions were after Deshaun?
Well, we've got a good culture in place, you know, and guys, they care about that Paul. They care about, you know, the foundation of our program, and we've talked a lot about that, but, you know, just speaks to our preparation, you know, how we prepare in the off season, how we prepared in camp, how we've developed our players. I mean, it's everything, but the biggest thing is we're battle tested, and, you know, we love opportunities like this. Just hats off to our guys to come on the road in a really tough place like this. And listen, we may have to play these guys again. This is a great football team. Justin's doing a heck of a job. Got a lot of respect for Virginia Tech, but hey, we had a great September, and that's it. You know, they're going to make us play October and November last time I checked, so we got a ways to go.
Well done. We appreciate it, Dabo.
Thank you, man. Good to be with you.
Rain was all jacked up, but it's all about the paw at the end of the night. Tigers 31, Hokies 17. Game produced by Bill Bonnell, directed by Derek Mobley. We'll see it in the Big House, Michigan and Michigan State, 7:30 Eastern here on ABC. Time now for the Ford Wrap-Up Show to Cassidy Hubbard.